At my daughter's birthday party, my grandson grabbed my arm fast. "Grandma, we need to leave. Right now." I froze. "What?" I asked. "Please, just go," he begged. I trusted him. That choice saved me from something awful my own daughter was planning. You wouldn't believe it. Mom, listen to me this time and don't get mad. Leo, my daughter's husband, stormed in through my front door without knocking. He talked like he'd practiced his speech in the car. I slowly took off my reading glasses, folded my newspaper, and set it aside. My chair made a little squeak as I sat up straight. "Good evening to you too, Leo," I said. I'd dealt with overconfident people like him for years. "What's so important you couldn't even say hello first?" He walked toward my bookshelf, then turned around waving his hands. "This is it, Mom. The big chance I've been waiting for. A real estate group with guaranteed profits." I got up and walked slowly to my cabinet. Leo watched me as I pulled out a file labeled Leo, Investments 2018 to 2024. "Guaranteed, huh?" I asked. I spread the papers on the table. 15% returns, maybe 20? "This is different," he insisted. "Like the Dubai apartments were different." I said. I held up a receipt. "Remember this? $80,000 gone in 3 months. When your guaranteed rental income turned into a foreclosure notice." Leo's jaw tightened. The big talk in his voice faded as he saw the papers. Bank statements, contracts, canceled checks, all showing his failures. "You never trust me," he shouted, his voice echoing in my living room. "Every time I try something, you ruin it with your negativity." I opened another file. The cryptocurrency machines that never arrived. $50,000 to a scammer you met online. "That was different," he said quickly. I kept flipping papers. The food truck business with a partner who had been in jail. 30,000 gone in 93 days. Leo's face turned red. He grabbed his jacket off my couch. "You're impossible," he snapped. "This new deal has real buildings, real investors, real money." "Show me the proof," I said. "I don't have it with me." "Then you don't have my money," I replied. We stared at each other in silence. Outside, the sun was going down. A dog barked somewhere. Leo's shoulders dropped for a second. Then he straightened up. "Fine. When this deal makes millions without you, don't come begging for a share." He stomped toward the door, his shoes heavy on my floor. The door slammed hard enough to rattle the windows. Through the glass, I saw him drop his keys, then start his car with too much force. Gravel flew as he sped out of my driveway. Red brake lights flashed angrily before he turned the corner. I stood at the window, even after the sound of his car faded. When the street was empty, I stepped back. My reflection in the dark glass looked tired. The house felt empty and too quiet. I walked to the kitchen, my feet creaking on the floorboards. Making coffee helped. Grinding the beans. Pouring the water. The slow drip was the only sound. After 40 years of marriage, I'd learned. Some talks need coffee afterward, even if you're the only one drinking it. I carried my cup to the study. The cabinet opened with a metallic clink. I pulled out folders, each one telling a story Leo refused to learn from. The Dubai apartments were first. The brochures looked fancy, shiny pictures of tall buildings by the beach. Leo was 34 back then, dreaming about quick money. The builder ran away with everyone's money before even starting. $80,000 gone. I spread out the crypto documents next. Machines that existed only in online ads. Leo had shown me videos of giant mining farms, swearing he'd found the future of wealth. Then the website vanished overnight, taking $50,000 with it. Next was the food truck mess. The ideas sounded good. Local food near the courthouse. But his partner had been in jail before for stealing money. I warned Leo, but he called me paranoid. 3 months later, the man disappeared with the truck and the rest of the money. My coffee was getting cold as I flipped through bank records, showing Leo's gambling trips, first small, then bigger. Casinos, quick getaways, all followed by "just until my next paycheck, please." Every folder told the same tale. Leo's big dreams hitting the hard wall of reality. But tonight felt different. His anger was sharper, like he was hiding something big. The way he avoided looking at me when talking about this new deal. The vague answers. I'd seen those signs before. I thought about his wife, Sonia. Before they married, his schemes were smaller. She pushed him into bigger risks. Her taste for expensive things made him desperate for expensive fixes. I glanced at a family photo on my desk. Leo at 18, holding his diploma with real pride. When had that boy started believing success came without hard work? My own father built our business with tired hands and 16-hour days. I learned the ropes by carrying tools, mixing cement, understanding things from the ground up. Leo wanted to sit in an office without ever touching the tools. The warm light in my study now shined on years of mistakes. Almost $200,000 lost to bad plans and scams. Each time, I hoped he'd learn. Each time, I bailed him out. But helping him was only making him worse. I put the papers back in order and closed the drawer with a firm push. Outside, the street lights clicked on. Tomorrow would be another day. But tonight, my decision felt right. Sometimes saying no is the kindest thing you can do. Morning sunlight poured into the kitchen. Yesterday's argument felt far away, like a storm that had passed. Coffee cleared my head. A shower washed off the tension. I grabbed my shopping bags, made sure my keys were in my pocket, and stepped outside. The air smelled sweet from Mrs. Ahmed's flowers next door. Perfect spring weather. But halfway down the path, I stopped. Something was wrong with my car. It sat lower than usual, leaning slightly like it was hurt. All 4 tires were flat. My stomach sank. I walked closer. Each tire had the same small hole in the side. Too perfect to be an accident. I bent down and found a nail sticking out. The same kind of nails I kept in my shed. Going around the car, I saw the same thing on every wheel. For nails. For tires. Someone had done this on purpose sometime last night. The timeline was clear in my mind. The fight with Leo. His angry words. And now this sneaky sabotage in the dark. I called Leo. He answered on the 3rd ring, sounding sleepy. Mom, what's wrong? It's so early. Leo, my tires are ruined. All 4. He paused, then said with fake concern. Oh no, that's awful. Probably some kids messing around. All 4 tires, Leo. Perfectly done. Nails pushed in just right to destroy them. Are you accusing me of something? His voice sounded hurt, but I'd heard him lie before. I'm just asking if you saw anything strange last night, I said. No, I went straight home. Look, I know we argued, but I'd never do something like that. You should call the police. Should I? I thought. I had no proof except the timing, and accusing him could destroy what little was left between us. I'll deal with it through insurance, I said at last. Thanks for the concern. Wait, Mom. I'm sorry about yesterday. About everything. We both said things we didn't mean. I need to call for a tow, I told him. The tow truck was going to take 45 minutes. I hung up, staring at my crippled car. I suddenly felt older than my 68 years. Maybe I was wrong about Leo. His voice had sounded shocked, even kind. Maybe it really was just random troublemakers. But my gut told me the timing was too perfect. I went back inside. The grocery trip could wait. When the mechanic arrived, he confirmed it. 4 tires, deliberately punctured. $800 to fix. Back home, I made a turkey sandwich and tried to distract myself with a newspaper. The phone rang. Leo's name popped up. Hey, Mom. How's your day? His voice was too cheerful, too soon. No mention of the ruined tires. No mention of our argument. It's been interesting, I said. Spent the morning at the tire shop. Oh, right. The vandalism thing. That's terrible. Listen, I've got good news. Tomorrow's my birthday, and Sonia's planning something special. I'd completely forgotten it was his 40th. Nothing big, he said. Just a family dinner at 6 o'clock. Lena will be there and a few friends. It would mean a lot if you came. After yesterday's fight and this morning's damage, I'd expected silence, not a friendly invite. That's nice of you to invite me, I said carefully. Come on, Mom. We don't agree on everything, but we're family. Lena really wants you there. Lena, my granddaughter, had always been the sunshine of family events. If she wanted me there, I couldn't say no. What should I bring? I asked. Just yourself. Sonia's got it all covered. Food, decorations, everything. That explained the expense. Sonia's all out usually meant spending way more than they had. But for once, that wasn't my problem. Of course I'll be there. 6 sharp. Great. And Mom, thanks for not making a big deal yesterday. I was stressed and took it out on you. His apology sounded real with a little softness in it that I remembered from when he was a boy. Maybe he was wrong about the tires. Maybe he truly wanted to fix things. Water under the bridge, I said. See you tomorrow. I hung up, feeling slightly hopeful. Family dinners had been rare since Leo married Sonia. This might be a chance to close the gap. Lena would be there, probably ready to tell me about her college adventures. I thought about a gift. Nothing too fancy. Maybe a good set of tools for his projects. Or a business book he might actually read. For the first time in 2 days, I felt like there was something good to look forward to. The next evening, I arrived in a taxi with a wrapped gift under my arm. The air smelled like barbecue and laughter drifted from the backyard. Through the windows, I saw more people than I expected. Leo opened the door before I could knock, his face glowing with excitement. "Mom, you made it. Come in, come in." Inside, the house looked completely different. Fancy decorations, shiny crystal glasses, and food that looked like it came from a professional caterer. "Happy birthday, son." I handed him the tool set. 40 years. Hard to believe. "This means a lot," he said, though something flickered in his eyes. "Sonia, Mom's here," he called. She walked in wearing a dress that probably cost more than my monthly bills. "So glad you could come," she said, kissing my cheek. "Let me introduce you to everyone." The living room buzzed with strangers, all talking about jobs, money, and investments. The drinks were all expensive brands Leo couldn't possibly afford. "Grandma," Lena's voice cut through the noise. She rushed over, hugging me like she meant it. "I'm so glad you came. Wouldn't miss it, sweetheart. How's school?" "Busy but good. Want me to get you a drink?" "Dad bought your favorite beer." Leo appeared with a fancy bottle. "Remember this? You had it at that steakhouse last year." I smiled, touched he remembered. Maybe I was overthinking things. The evening moved along better than I'd expected. Leo's friends asked me about the family business. Sonia kept refilling my glass, always with a smile. "This is quite a spread," I said during dinner, looking at the trays of catered food. "Must have cost a lot." Leo waved it off. "Sonia's been saving for months. She wanted it special, but in my head the math didn't work. The food, the drinks, the decorations, even the new furniture, it had to be thousands. Where did the money come from? Especially when Leo was asking me for investment cash days ago. Sonia appeared with a fancy bottle of red wine. "This goes perfectly with the beef," she said. I nodded and took another sip. The warmth of the wine was starting to relax me. Talking with Lena reminded me of what really mattered. Then Leo stood to make a toast. To family, to fresh starts, and to the future. Everyone clinked glasses. The wine was smooth, rich, probably older than some of the guests. For the first time in days, I felt calm. But something kept bothering me. Leo kept glancing at his watch. Sonia's smiles didn't quite reach her eyes. And now and then, I caught them giving each other quick, meaningful looks. By the third hour, the party still wasn't slowing down. I settled into a new leather armchair I didn't remember from before. I was starting to feel pleasantly drowsy from the drinks. That's when Leo came over with another glass. "Mom, come upstairs. You have to see our renovated bedroom." "Now? Shouldn't you be with your guests?" "They're fine. I really want you to see it." Before I could answer, Sonia appeared on my other side. "Oh yes, you must see the new bathroom. No expense spared." That phrase again, no expense spared. From people who were supposedly broke. I began to stand, but Lena suddenly appeared beside me. Her face was pale, her eyes wide with something I didn't recognize at first, fear. "Grandma," she whispered, gripping my arm tightly. "You have to leave. Right now." "What?" I blinked. "Please. Trust me. Something's wrong." Leo stepped closer, still smiling. "What's this about, Lena?" Grandma was just about to see upstairs. "No, she wasn't," Lena said firmly, her grip tightening. "Grandma, please, you need to go home." The urgency in her voice cleared my head instantly. I'd never seen her look scared before. "I think I'll listen to my granddaughter," I said, standing up. "It's getting late." "Don't be silly," Leo said, his cheerful mask slipping a bit. "The night's just starting. We haven't even cut the cake." "Where are you going?" Sonia's voice had an edge now. "You can't leave before we celebrate properly." Their eagerness to keep me there set off alarms in my mind. When people try too hard to stop you from leaving, it usually means you need to leave. "I'm tired," I said, moving toward the door. age catching up with me. Just one more drink, Leo pressed. I've got a special bottle. Another time, I said, stepping past him. Lena's grip tightened again. I could hear her holding back a sob. That decided it. Thank you for the evening, I said firmly, grabbing my coat. I'll call you tomorrow. Behind me, I heard Leo and Sonia whispering, their voices tense. I stepped outside into the cool night air, the wine fog clearing from my head. The first was for Marcus, proof he'd invested $25,000 in the Dubai project, after Leo knew the builder was going bankrupt. The second was for David, emails where Leo admitted. The crypto supplier looked shady, but took $35,000 anyway. The third was for Jennifer, the signed contract with her $20,000. Going into a food truck business with a man Leo knew had an embezzlement record. I kept it simple. Information for your consideration regarding Leo Hassan's business dealings. Please review the attached documents and form your own conclusions. No insults, no accusations, just dates, amounts, and proof. I called a professional courier service. Anonymous delivery, I said. No problem, the dispatcher replied. They didn't care who sent what, as long as they were paid in cash. By 2:30 p.m., the packages were on their way. By evening, 3 of the most connected people in town would be reading about every shady deal Leo had ever pulled. Marcus, with his influence in the Chamber of Commerce. David, with his role in the investment group. Jennifer, with her ties to half the financial offices in the city. Leo had messed with the wrong people and the wrong mother. The phone rang. Leo's name flashed on the screen. It was his third call since yesterday. This time I picked up. Mom, I've been trying to reach you. Why did you leave the party? Did Lena tell you something? I was tired, I said flatly. It's been a long week. He hesitated, then his voice smoothed over. Come over for lunch next week. I have new investment ideas. Ones that will solve your problems too. I almost laughed. He still thought he could pitch me another scam. I'll check my schedule, I said, and hung up. By Monday morning, those envelopes would have done their work. Monday morning proved my plan had worked. Before 8 a.m., my phone had already rung 6 times. Business contacts, all asking careful questions about Leo's past investments. They were polite, but I could hear the gossip brewing. By Sunday night, Marcus had already called David. David had called Jennifer. And now, 3 of the most influential people in town were quietly warning their networks. Don't do business with Leo Hassan. Phase 1, complete. I poured a fresh cup of coffee and pulled out a new file folder. This one was labeled Sonia, professional standing. If Leo was the reckless gambler, Sonia was the calculating brains behind the birthday trap. She deserved consequences too. She worked as a senior client manager at a fancy financial firm called Prestige Capital. Her job? Handle big money clients. Her weakness? Her career depended on trust and ethics. Perfect. I made a few quiet calls through my business contacts. It didn't take long before things got interesting. Turns out Sonia had been spotted more than once, having long, cozy meetings at a hotel lounge with a man in a suit during work hours. A married man, according to his wedding ring. Definitely not one of her clients. And despite Leo's constant claims about money troubles, Sonia had been buying designer clothes, jewelry, and expensive handbags like she had a bottomless bank account. Something didn't add up. Either Leo was lying about their finances, or Sonia had a secret income stream he didn't know about. Both options worked in my favor. I typed up an anonymous ethics complaint to Prestige Capital's HR department. It detailed her role in trying to trick me into signing my company away, how she targeted an elderly family member after getting them drunk, and how this reflected on her ability to handle clients' money. I included receipts, photos from the party, and notes about her unexplained spending. Then I suggested HR take a closer look at her recent client meetings and financial advice, especially any that might have been influenced by personal gain. By Tuesday morning, her company would be investigating her ethics and trustworthiness. Tuesday afternoon, I heard car doors slam in my driveway. Not just shut, slammed. Then fast footsteps up the walkway. The knock on my front door wasn't polite. It was sharp, angry. I didn't even need to look. I knew it was Leo and Sonia. I opened the door slowly. Both of them stood there, faces red and tense. Leo looked like a man cornered. Sonia's polished smile was gone, replaced with pure fury. "We need to talk," Leo said, brushing past me into the living room. "We know what you've been doing," Sonia snapped, following him. I closed the door calmly. "I've been expecting this. Please sit." Leo didn't sit. He paced. "You destroyed my business relationships. Marcus, David, Jennifer, all got some anonymous package about me." Sonia's voice was colder. "My company's HR department is investigating me. They got a detailed letter about my so-called ethics violations." I sat down in my chair, the same one where this whole mess started. "Those letters contained nothing but facts," I said evenly. "If the truth ruins your reputation, the problem isn't the letter, it's your behavior. You're ruining our lives over a family disagreement," Sonia spat. "Let's talk about what really happened," I said, pulling out the folder I'd prepared. "You plan to steal 40 years of my work. Lena told me about the lawyers upstairs at your party. Mrs. Ahmed saw Leo puncture my tires after our argument. This wasn't desperation. This was planned theft." Leo's face went pale. "That's not," he began. "Tuesday, argument about money," I said, my voice steady. "Wednesday morning, tire sabotage. Thursday night, a stage party to get me drunk and sign papers." Leo dropped into the couch, looking smaller by the second. "Mom, you don't understand the pressure we're under." "I understand perfectly," I cut in. "You decided it was easier to rob me than to build your own success." Sonia tried to recover. "This is still family." "No," I said firmly. "You stopped being family when you planned to rob me." Leo stared at the floor. Sonia looked like she was calculating how to spin this, but found nothing. "The investors will never trust you again, Leo," I said. "Sonia, this investigation will likely end your career. These are the natural consequences of your own choices." "What about Lena?" Sonia asked suddenly. "Lena's fine. She protected family instead of exploiting it. Her future is safe." I stood up. "You declared war on me with lies and schemes." I responded with truth. "That's not revenge, that's justice." They left without a word, walking to their car like people who had just lost everything. From my porch, I watched their taillights fade into the distance. My phone rang. Lena's name lit up the screen. "Grandma, are you okay?" I heard Mom and Dad talking about an investigation. "I'm fine, sweetheart. Justice has been served, and your future is safe." "I love you, Grandma." "I love you too." 40 years of honest work were still in the hands of someone honest. I made myself tea and stood by the window, looking out at the street I'd lived on for decades. Mrs. Ahmed was on her porch again, knitting like nothing in the world had changed. But everything had changed. The people who thought they could take everything from me had walked away with nothing. The one person who had stood by me, Lena, still had my full trust. My business, my home, my peace, all still mine, because I'd chosen to fight back the smart way. The phone stayed quiet for the rest of the week. No calls from Leo. No fake apologies from Sonia. Just silence. And you know what? I liked it that way.